After being away on a business trip for half a year, I came home to find my boyfriend had a new meal buddy. She acted more like the lady of the house than I did, bustling in the kitchen, diligently preparing a 3-course meal with soup. As we were about to sit down to eat, she held up a matching couple's bowl, identical to my boyfriend's, and stuck her tongue out at me sheepishly. Oops, I forgot. We only have one set of bowls and chopsticks, miss. I'll find you a bowl for your rice. Right in front of my boyfriend, Noah. She served me a bowl of rice in a disposable plastic container, and Noah said nothing. I knew then and there, it was time to break up with him. After 6 months away, the company's overseas operations finally stabilized. I secretly bought a plane ticket and rushed home the day before Noah's birthday to give him a surprise. On the way, I excitedly imagined several of his possible reactions. When he saw me and the birthday gift I had carefully prepared for him, he would surely be surprised and thrilled. The expression on his face would be priceless. To capture that moment, I even brought a miniature camera, hoping to record it for future memories. My plan was perfect, except for one unexpected obstacle at my own front door. 602, that's right, isn't it? I stepped back to check the apartment number, a little confused. Why had I entered the password for the electronic lock twice, only for it to say, incorrect? I clearly remembered the password was my birthday. It couldn't be wrong. Unconvinced, I entered my birthday one more time. This time, I concentrated, pressing each number slowly. After the last digit, the lock clicked and displayed, locked, unable to open. If the password was wrong, it could only mean Noah had changed it. I sighed and resignedly rang the doorbell. After the second ring, a sweet female voice came from inside. Just leave the delivery at the door. I froze, took another step back, and checked the apartment number again. Building B, 602. I wasn't mistaken. That was the shoe cabinet I bought, with the shoes I bought for Noah still on top. But why was there a girl's voice inside? A bad feeling crept into my heart. I rang the doorbell again. I said, leave the delivery at the door. Don't you understand? The door swung open, and a petite girl with a low side ponytail appeared before me. Lily was wearing a cute apron, a spatula in her hand, and glared at me with annoyance. But the moment she saw me, her expression shifted subtly, though her tone remained unfriendly. Who are you looking for? I didn't answer. Instead, I pushed my suitcase past her and went inside. What are you doing? This is breaking and entering. I can call the police, Lily said angrily, trying to pull me back. I surveyed the room's decor, then slowly turned my gaze to her, frowning. Shouldn't I be the one asking you that? Who are you? And what are you doing in my house? Where's Noah? Just as we were at a standoff, Noah's voice came from the doorway. Picky eater. I got that brand of coconut water you wanted. Noah was changing his shoes at the entrance. I had to go to several supermarkets to find it. You'd better thank me later. Give me a good leg massage. You hear? He called out a couple of times, but when Lily didn't answer, he looked up and met my gaze. In that instant, the color drained from his face. Ava, why are you back? Noah rushed over. Lily paused, stopped confronting me, and walked to Noah's side, naturally taking the groceries from his hands and placing them on the table. Noah, on the other hand, hurried to me and gave me a big, emotional hug. You're back so suddenly. Why didn't you let me pick you up? He held me tightly, but I had no desire to hug him back. I just felt that this man, my boyfriend of 5 years, was a stranger. Who is she? I've never been one to beat around the bush. I asked directly what was on my mind. Her. Noah looked at me with a helpless expression. You forgot, didn't you? I told you about her. She's the healthy meal service I found in our complex. My meal buddy. I frowned, racking my brain. It finally came back to me. Noah had mentioned her. He was a game streamer and often skipped meals. Since I was going to be away for 6 months, I was worried about his health and often ordered takeout for him. But I usually ordered healthy salads and home-style meals. And after a week, he refused to eat them anymore. So he found a meal service in our complex. For a monthly fee, someone would cook all 3 of his meals, ensuring they were clean and healthy. When he told me, I was all for it. I even transferred him a large sum of money to get the most expensive plan, telling him not to skimp on himself. He had happily accepted the money. He had mentioned it, but I never expected their service included in home cooking. It wasn't like that before, Noah quickly explained, seeing my expression. But then the service lost most of its customers, and I was the only one left. So Lily just started coming here to cook for me. Just then, Lily brought the finished dishes to the table. She wiped her hands on her apron and added with a smile, "That's right. You should try my cooking, miss." Yeah, Come on, sit down and try it. Lily is an amazing cook. It's delicious. Noah's mouth watered at the thought. He excitedly pulled out a chair for me. The moment I sat down, I heard Lily say to Noah, "Don't just sit there, pour her some coconut water." "Oh, right, right." As if snapped out of a trance, Noah scurried off to find a glass for me. He had just picked up a pink cup from the table when Lily's playful scolding came from the side. "Silly, don't use that one. That's my cup." Noah, realizing his mistake, sheepishly put it down and looked for another one. He couldn't find one anywhere. Lily laughed and called him a silly goose, then pulled a clean glass from a nearby cabinet. Noah scratched his head, not at all annoyed. The two of them, one in the kitchen serving rice, the other pouring me coconut water. I sat alone at the table, silently observing their intimate and seamless interactions. For a moment, I felt like they were the loving couple of the house, and I was just a guest they didn't know very well. It wasn't until Noah placed a glass of coconut water in front of me, naturally patting my head and leaning in with a smile, that he asked, "Why the long face, babe?" Only when he called me, "Babe," did it hit me. Oh, right. Noah was my boyfriend. We were the couple of this house. I was about to say something to him when the sound of a shattering bowl came from the kitchen, followed by Lily's gasp. Before I could speak, Noah had already rushed to the kitchen in a panic. I didn't look, but I could hear their voices. "Oh, you're so clumsy, don't touch it. Let me, you'll cut yourself. This plate is so slippery." Lily's voice was tinged with grievance. "Sorry, it's fine. As long as you're okay. A broken bowl is no big deal." Their voices faded as they started whispering. I closed my eyes. I couldn't hear what they were saying, and I didn't want to. Soon, the kitchen was cleaned up. Noah and Lily emerged, each with a bowl of rice, 2 bowls, one with a puppy design, the other with a kitten. One was placed in front of Noah, the other in front of Lily. After they sat down, Lily, as if just remembering, covered her mouth and stuck her tongue out. "Oh no, I forgot we only have 2 bowls. Miss, I'll find you another one." She rushed back to the kitchen and returned with a disposable plastic bowl of rice. She placed it in front of me, her face full of apology. I stared at her, noticing the slight, mocking curve of her lips as she sat down. Meanwhile, Noah was completely oblivious. He ignored the plastic bowl and chopsticks in front of me and eagerly started eating a chicken wing. "This is so good," he said, gesturing for me to eat. "You have to try it." "Yeah," Lily immediately chimed in, a half smile on her face. "Make yourself at home, don't be a stranger." Her words, spoken as if she were the hostess, made me laugh out of anger. But what was more ironic was Noah's lack of reaction. He seemed to subconsciously believe she had the right to say such things. He didn't speak up, didn't notice the humiliation I was being subjected to. That realization was what truly made my heart sink. Just then, Lily exclaimed, "Oh, I forgot to take off my apron." She untied it, revealing what she was wearing underneath. The moment I saw her clothes, my eyes widened, and my mind went blank, because Lily was wearing nothing but a long, sheer, white button-down shirt. It was so sheer that a single glance revealed everything. My mind was buzzing. I was completely stunned. Lily gave me a provocative look and, biting her chopsticks, said to Noah, "Goose, get me a chicken wing. It's too far for me to reach." "Sure," Noah said, and instinctively reached for a wing to give her. I can't even describe the feeling in my heart at that moment. All I knew was that if I tolerated this any longer, I would be the kind of fool who gets cheated on, develops health problems from stress, and becomes a laughingstock for life. So, just as Noah was about to place the chicken wing in her bowl, I shot up and swept the entire table of food onto the floor. The dishes crashed to the ground, hot soup splashed everywhere, much of it on Lily. She screamed and curled up, her eyes red, trembling as she looked at me. "Miss, I don't know what you're so angry about, but you shouldn't take it out on the food." "Ava." Noah's temper flared. He shouted my name. "What is wrong with you?" I really didn't want to say anything today. He slammed his chopsticks on the table. "You've been in a foul mood since you got here, and now this. What are you trying to do? Apologize to Lily, now." His words made me laugh. "You want me to apologize?" "Yes," he said, his tone firm and unyielding. The next second, I slapped him hard across the face. As Lily screamed again, I grabbed his ear and yanked him towards her. "Apologize? Huh?" Before either of them could react, I pulled down Lily's shirt, exposing her bare chest. "Before I apologize, maybe you should explain to me why she's cooking for my boyfriend without wearing a bra." Noah's face turned white when he saw. "She's not. That's impossible." He looked at her again, in disbelief. After taking in the view, he even swallowed unconsciously. When he realized what he had done, he looked up at me, met with my smiling expression. He panicked and stammered, "No, babe, listen. I don't know why she's not wearing a bra. She's just the cook, and I'm just the one eating." Lily, who had been trying to cover herself, froze when she heard him so quickly distance himself from her. She looked at him with teary, wounded eyes, but Noah avoided her gaze and grabbed my hand, continuing to explain, "Babe, we're really just friends, purely platonic, a man and a woman, alone in a room, and the woman is wearing nothing but a thin, sheer shirt, and is braless, and you're telling me it's a purely platonic friendship." He could say it, but I couldn't believe it. I expressionlessly pulled my hand away, saying nothing. Noah was truly desperate now. "We've been together for over 5 years. You may not know her, but you know me. I'm the kind of guy who doesn't even get suggestive videos on my social media feed. I'm really innocent. I have no idea why she wasn't wearing one." He was practically swearing on his life to prove his innocence. I didn't want to argue about it anymore. I turned my attention to Lily, this woman who had been provoking me from the moment I walked in, who dared to act like the lady of the house in my own home. Lily clutched her clothes, her eyes red, looking like a victim of extreme bullying. "Miss," she said, her voice choked with sobs, "Noah and I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to explain. All I know is that a dirty mind sees everything as dirty." She emphasized the last sentence, her tone thick with provocation. I had no intention of indulging her. I shot back, "So, was it me who took off your bra, or was it me who dressed you in this practically see-through, lingerie-like shirt? Was it me who forced you to wear this to cook for my boyfriend? By your logic, if I walk in and find you two naked in bed, you'll just tell me it's my dirty mind, and you were just talking." I stood up, looking down at her. "Do you even believe the words coming out of your own mouth?" Lily was speechless, her face a mixture of white and purple. She probably hadn't expected me to be so direct, to expose her little tricks so bluntly, making her look like a clown. She bit her lip and looked to Noah for help, but the moment his eyes met hers, he looked away. Lily clenched her fists and, meeting my gaze, retorted, "I can tell you this much. There is nothing sordid going on between me and Noah. I'm dressed like this because I have a very specific skin condition. Any fabric that isn't breathable makes my skin itch and turn red. This is the only way I can be comfortable." She shouted at me, her body trembling. "I've told you my most private secret. Are you happy now?" With that, as if she couldn't take it anymore, she turned and ran out, sobbing. The door slammed shut. Noah stared at her retreating back for a long moment. Then, I heard him mutter to himself, "So she's sick." My head spun. I looked at him in disbelief, but he, as if he had just understood something, frowned and met my gaze. "Ava, why do you have to be so aggressive? She's already been through so much. Why did you have to twist the knife? Don't you have a conscience?" I don't know about my conscience, but I do know that my head was throbbing with anger, especially when I looked into his clear, foolish eyes. I was shaking with rage. "As if I wasn't angry enough," he added, "I'll take you to apologize to her later." In that moment, all the fight went out of me. I silently picked up the remaining bowl of rice from the table. Noah frowned, his mouth slightly open, as if about to say something else. The next second, I smashed the entire bowl of rice in his face. "Noah, we're through. Being with you is a stain on my life." "Ava, are you insane?" Noah shouted, looking even more wrong than I was. "I don't agree. What is wrong with you today? You come back and cause all this trouble, turning the house upside down. You're not." A thought seemed to strike him. He frowned and looked me up and down. "You didn't find someone else while you were away, did you? Is that why you're trying to pin something on me? To force a breakup?" His eyes widened as he spoke, becoming more and more convinced of his own theory. He even stared at my face, and seeing my speechless, twitching expression, he became even more certain. "You did find someone else," he roared, his eyes instantly turning red. "Ava, how could you do this to me?" His words left me momentarily speechless, wondering if he had truly lost his mind. His single sentence was a masterclass in logical fallacies, red herring, false cause, and straw man, all rolled into one. We had been talking about him and Lily. He had offered no explanation, no answer, and had instead blurted out, "You're the one who cheated." He had successfully blurred his own inappropriate behavior with Lily and shifted the blame to me. He was claiming that because I had cheated, I was now causing a scene to break up with him. He had twisted my reasonable questions into an unreasonable tantrum. Once I had untangled his logic, a sudden calm washed over me. The anger and betrayal that had consumed me began to recede. I looked at the man before me, The Noah I had been with for almost 5 years. I don't know when he had become this person. Was the sunny, vibrant boy from my memories just a product of my own romanticized view? I wasn't sure. All I knew was that I no longer wanted to love the man standing before me. My stare made Noah fidget. He was clearly uncomfortable. "Why are you looking at me like that?" he asked defensively. "You're the one with a guilty conscience, not me." "Are you sure?" I asked calmly. "Are you willing to switch phones and let me check?" My calm tone startled him. His eyes flickered to the bowl I had thrown at his face, which was now back in his hands, then quickly looked away. The bowl had a puppy design on it, a perfect match for the kitten design on Lily's, and based on its rough texture, I could tell it wasn't store-bought. It was a handmade set. And then I remembered. A month ago, Noah had gone to Jingdezhen, the porcelain capital. He had told me it was for a gaming event. It seemed he hadn't gone alone. Without looking at him, I asked with a small smile, "You two went on a trip together, didn't you?" The next second, the sound of a shattering bowl filled the air. I didn't have to look at him to know the panicked expression on his face. "We didn't go together. We were." He was still trying to lie. I cut him off. "No need to explain. I don't really care where you went or what you did." I didn't care about the details of their affair. I didn't want to hear any more of his excuses. From the moment I walked in, Lily had thrown all the evidence in my face. The matching bowls and cups, the sickeningly sweet nicknames and gestures, the traces of her all over my house. It was all telling me one thing. My home had been invaded, and Noah had allowed it, whether he had cheated or not. At this point, only one thought was crystal clear in my mind: break up. Immediately, I had my speech prepared. I asked directly, "The password for the lock has been changed, right?" Noah was taken aback by the sudden change of topic. He frowned, thought for a moment, and said, "I think so." Lily kept forgetting the password when she came to cook. I couldn't hear her from the gaming room with my headphones on, so she often had to wait outside for an hour or two, so I just changed it to something she could remember. "The new password is 990817. I listened to him silently. I repeated the numbers in my mind. I didn't even have to think. I knew it was Lily's birthday. I had thought I could remain calm, that I wouldn't get angry over this mess anymore. But when he said that, a fresh wave of anger surged through me. I swung my arm with all my might, my hand whistling through the air as it headed for his face. He froze, too scared to move, and squeezed his eyes shut, but the expected sting never came. He cautiously opened one eye to peek at me, only to see my hand slowly lowering before it reached his cheek. A smile instantly spread across his face. "I knew you wouldn't hit me," he started to say, laughing. The next second, my calibrated slap landed with a loud crack, sending him staggering. "Noah, this is my house. I bought it, in full." I met his stunned gaze and said, word for word, "You have no right to make any changes to my property, including my front door lock." He clutched his stinging cheek, his mouth open, as if trying to explain, but the words were stuck in his throat. "I've only been gone for 6 months, and my house is already full of junk." I stood up, picked up the pink cup Lily had left on the table, then noticed Noah's matching blue one in the corner. I examined it for a moment, then I let it drop, watching as it shattered on the floor. "Oops," I said casually. "Slipped." I looked around the living room. Everything was in a style I didn't recognize and didn't like. Pink curtains, a pink and white sofa cover, 2 bunny throw pillows on the sofa, and a hand-knitted wool blanket with a large goose and the name, Noah, on it. The Chinese-style black walnut TV stand I had specifically chosen had been painted a milky white. The cheap, ugly color almost made me pass out. I stormed into the bedroom and saw the unfamiliar bedding. I scoffed. Noah followed me, and seeing my reaction and the bedding, his face turned red. "It's not what you think," he stammered. "She got drunk after a breakup and threw up all over the bed. She felt so bad she insisted on buying me a new set. I was just too lazy to change it. If you don't like it, I'll buy a new one right now." He frantically opened his phone to buy new bedding. I took a few pictures of the bedroom and stopped him. "Hold on. I'm going to have a lawyer and a financial advisor come over to assess the total financial damages to my property." Noah's hand, holding his phone, froze. He looked at me in disbelief. "What do you mean? Is it that hard to understand?" I frowned at him. "You don't think you and Lily can just redecorate my house and get away with a simple sorry, do you?" "Noah, I'm not a charity." I walked past him to check the study. Noah stood there, stunned, a look of confusion in his eyes. The friends I called were very efficient. In just over an hour, based on my descriptions and the receipts for the larger items, they had quickly estimated my losses. A total of 27,000. 800, I said, placing the organized documents in front of Noah and showing him the pictures I had just taken. The biggest expenses are the custom-made kitchen refrigerator and cabinets, the living room TV stand, and the tiles in the balcony and bathroom. All of these were colored without my permission, and I want them all replaced. And the things I've collected in the study over the years. Enough. Noah cut me off. He stared at me as if I were a monster. Lily had my permission to make those changes. His eyes darted from me to my two friends standing beside me. He pursed his lips. You don't have to make such a big deal out of this. I'll just have her come over and apologize. He started to message Lily. I tapped the table, getting his attention. It's not just her who has to pay. I pointed to the document, to his name written next to Lily's. You have to pay with her. Noah was clearly stunned. Ava, I'm your boyfriend, he shouted. How can you be so cruel? Just because I got a little close to another girl. I threw the glass of cold water I had prepared at his face. If you can't understand plain language, go to a hospital. I raised my voice. We've already broken up. Please stop trying to make this about our relationship. You and another person have caused significant damage to my property. If you're not willing to compensate me, we can settle this at the police station. Noah's face darkened. Ava, he roared. In the past, seeing him so angry would have sent me scrambling to appease him, but now, I couldn't even be bothered to look at him. I wasted no more words and dialed the police. The moment the call connected, Noah lunged and hung up. Fine, he said, shaking with rage. You want to do this the hard way. Fine, break up. You'll regret this. I let out a long breath, my head aching. When would he finally get past the emotional drama of the breakup and the cheating? The core issue now was the massive financial loss I had suffered. 27,800. Was that so insignificant compared to his feelings? As Noah was defiantly dragging his suitcase to the door, I called out to him. He instantly smiled, a little smug as he turned back. What? Can't bear to see me go. If you apologize now, I might be merciful enough to forgive you and not break up. I looked at him like he was an idiot. No, I just wanted you to give me Lily's contact information before you leave. You're both responsible for the state of this house. I need to send her the list of damages. Noah's face fell. He gave me her contact information and left without another word. Just before I closed the door, I heard a mournful cry from outside, but it had nothing to do with me anymore. All I wanted now was my compensation. I wanted my house back to the way it was. I created a group chat with Noah and Lily. The group name was Compensation Home. Noah was the first to message. House of Love. I glanced at it, not even bothering to reply. Pathetic. Thankfully, he quickly deleted it. I tagged both of them and sent the list of damages. I added one final message. Please transfer the compensation amount within 10 days. Then I muted the group. How they split the cost was their business. I spent the entire day clearing out all the junk from my house. Without all the frills and pink, my house finally started to look like itself again. The next day, I changed the locks and installed security cameras at the entrance and inside the rooms. The third day, I hired a professional cleaning crew for a deep clean. While cleaning the bedroom, they found a pair of pink lace panties under the bed and asked if I wanted to keep them. I was so disgusted I was about to tell them to throw them away, but then I thought, hold on. I took a picture of the panties and sent it to the compensation group, tagging Lily. Hello, are these yours? Lily couldn't hold back. She sent a voice message. Yes, they are. So what? Noah bought them for me. Are you jealous, old woman? I raised an eyebrow and replied calmly. That's nice. I found them under the bed. Since you two have slept in my bed, I don't want it anymore. I'll be adding the cost of the mattress and the solid wood bed frame to the compensation list. A total of 4,600. The group was silent for a minute. Then, Lily sent a dozen 60-second voice messages in a row. I smirked, didn't listen, and instead sent the legal statutes my lawyer friend had prepared. Lily, who had been so full of fight, instantly went quiet. After a long pause, Noah finally sent a message. Ava, do you really have to take it this far? I sent a message to the group about the criminal charge for intentional destruction of property, with a sentence of 3 to 7 years. Noah also went silent. The group was blessedly quiet. On the 8th day, a disheveled Noah appeared at my door with Lily. He habitually tried to enter the password. After 3 failed attempts, he finally realized and called me. The first thing he said was, you changed the locks, and the password. I tried your birthday, my birthday, our anniversary. None of them worked. His voice trembled, as if he were about to faint. Ava, do you really not love me anymore? We've known each other for almost 10 years, and been together for 5. I asked him on the phone, puzzled. Are you saying I can also ask for compensation for emotional distress? The next second, he hung up. I checked the security camera and saw him staring at my door, his expression shattered. Lily hugged him, burying his face in her chest. Yes, she was wearing a bra this time. They held each other tightly at my door. Their eyes met, and they started kissing passionately, just as their hands were starting to wander under each other's clothes. About to do something inappropriate right at my doorstep, I cleared my throat and, using the camera's two-way audio, called out, "Do you need me to bring you a bed?" My voice startled them. Noah panicked and pushed Lily away so hard she stumbled back and fell on her butt. He quickly glanced at the camera and ran off without looking back. Lily was left on the ground, crying, and then chased after him. What a show. I sent the recorded video to the group with a caption, "If you love someone, love them deeply, but please don't do it at my doorstep, because I will call the police. You don't want me to have to replace my door and add it to the compensation list, do you?" Neither of them replied, but I knew they had seen it. They would probably watch it over and over, but I didn't care what they were thinking, because my 10-day deadline was almost up. All I cared about was my money. 11. Noah didn't have much money. He called himself a game streamer, but it was just a nice way of saying he played games at home all day. He never took it seriously, didn't even have the basic equipment, and certainly never thought about making a living from it. For all the years we were together, I had been the one supporting him. He used my supplementary card for shopping and in-game purchases. After we broke up, I immediately cut him off. I was sure he had less than $500 in his bank account. As for Lily, with her cheap taste and lack of knowledge about quality, I guessed she didn't have much money either, so I was quite curious to see how the two of them would come up with over $30,000. But I never expected that they not only managed to get the money, but they also withdrew it all in cash, carried it in a briefcase, and came to find me with an air of triumph. When we met, Noah immediately took out a stack of cash and tried to throw it in my face. "Ava, you just want money, right? Here you go." I caught the money, confirmed it was real, and raised an eyebrow in surprise. He reached for another stack to throw at me, to vent his anger, but before he could, I had snatched the briefcase. "All right, stop the drama. Let's go to the bank and verify the cash." I didn't give him a chance to throw any more money, which almost made him choke on his anger. On the way to the bank, Noah and Lily held hands, acting lovey-dovey, occasionally hugging and kissing. Noah kept stealing glances at my face, hoping to see a hint of jealousy or displeasure, but my eyes were only on the money. I didn't have a single glance to spare for them. After confirming the amount was correct and depositing it, I finally let out a long sigh of relief. This whole mess was finally over. As I was about to leave, Noah suddenly grabbed my arm. I frowned and looked back at him. His lips moved, but no words came out. Just as I was about to lose my patience, I heard him say in a trembling voice, "From now on, we go our separate ways. You know, you'll never find a man as good as me again." Still trying to act all sentimental at a time like this. Who was he trying to disgust? I slowly pried his fingers off and said with a smile to both of them, "Well then, I wish you a long and happy life together." With that, I shook them off, blocked and deleted them, went home, packed my things, put the house up for sale, and boarded a plane out of the country again. The second month after the house was sold, Noah went there late at night and somehow got into a fight with the new owner. They ended up at the police station. Noah was threatening self-harm and demanding to see me. The new owner contacted me through the real estate agent. That's when I found out that the money Noah had given me was borrowed from various sources. And he hadn't just borrowed the $32,000 to pay me back. He had borrowed a total of $50,000. After paying me, he had taken Lily on a lavish trip, shopping and traveling. They had their fun, but when it was time to repay the debt, they were in a panic. Noah had no money and asked Lily to help. She readily agreed, but the next day, she was gone, and so were his phone, his computer, and his last few thousand. Desperate, Noah thought of me again. He went to find me, hoping for forgiveness, but when he saw another man in my house, he flew into a rage and started a fight, which was how they ended up at the police station. He insisted he was my fiancé and was causing a scene, demanding to see me. Now the agent was asking me cautiously, "Miss, he insists on talking to you. What should I do?" I was handling my work emails. Without hesitation, I replied, "Ignore him. I don't know him. Let the law take its course. This is all his own doing." After I hung up, the agent sent me a video of Noah lying on the floor, sobbing. I didn't watch it. I didn't reply. this was his choice, he had no one to blame but himself.